Okay, y'all. As you see, I just got the Toyo Proxies, the 195s, 45s, 78V, the T1Rs. These mother joints are no joke. They gave it a review before on YouTube, and basically the guy was kind of off on his review. Now, he kept saying these are all seasonal. You can roll these all seasonal. You could do really well all seasonal. Now, he was saying those weren't the ones to get, but they are. I'm also showing a receipt right here from Buc-ee's. You can't tell me this isn't a good deal for a full-on service. I don't know if he indicated what it was. Oh, let me see. Sales tax, labor. What'd he say? Adjust, pipe replace. Labor required. Okay. $120 an hour. Okay, but it was less than a half hour. He did it in like 10 minutes. Okay, as you guys see in my car, this is right here. I had to get this done. He also helped me do my oil change for the whole 50-something bucks. Now you can't tell me the Lord ain't been looking out for me. God's been looking. See that crusty thing there? That's coming off. That was all for sure to try to keep everybody at bay, basically. To show them that, hey man, this ain't the car that you saying is out here doing something lewd and mischievous, or out here being a criminal, or out here rolling around people that I shouldn't be rolling around when I'm not even a criminal. I don't know why I was getting harassed like that. Tore my car to pieces at the same time too. Stole the one from way back here, and I got it back in order again. But at the same time, I'm trying to build this shop up as far as the rep and the shop work that's been working with me. I actually got 100% blown head gasket. I did the bars review. My bars review is ridiculous. I did it last night on my own. I have not a leak in it at any point. All I have is a lot of condensation, that's residue, basically just the residue of it. So it has a different effect once the residue's there. So I'll be honest with you, it was kind of better almost having a completely blown head gasket than dealing with this residue stuff. The residue stuff, it could be a scary matter because you be looking at your oil light flash on and off, on and off, on and off. And if you're not headstrong, then you wouldn't know why it's doing it. And it also will fluctuate, I don't even think it's noticeable. A barely noticeable fluctuant on your thermostat. I'll suggest everybody to use fail-safe in your Accords. Okay, I'm bringing the LXI into effect. I'm about to put 42,000 in a secret mold, completely drawn out by me. Car is never going to be square out here, okay, for any reason. It's going to be a bolstered polyurethane bumper that I'm bringing now. And I'm one of a kind, but it's going to be mass produced. So anybody with an 87 Accord, hold on to your 87s. We also have them, the way I'm doing it is going to be useful for any DXs, LXs, hatchbacks. So what you would have to do is just cut it in the middle and basically to whatever specifications of the fit, and it still should just basically fabricate and apply your polyurethane, basically, and resand just to get it to adjust. It's worth the buy. It's going to be affordable too. We got to make a profit. I'm throwing 42,000 at it. You know, it's got to be what it is. But the thing is, if I have to do it alone, I really feel more secure in what I'm talking about, because I'm willing to do it alone. But I'd rather have 11 people or 10 people, you know, that put up $4,200 or $4,000. You know, 10 people, $4,000. That's what, 4,000. I mean, 40,000. You know what I mean? We can all come up with $200. It's $20 a piece, so $4,020. And there's your 4,200. So we'll all have a stake in that. I'm talking about contract signed. Our shit's official. It could be used in movies, okay? Because I'm not joking about my drawings. And then after we make a profit, everybody else's idea could be drawn in effect too. You know, I'm really good at what I do. You see, this is my personal setup. I seen everybody with theirs angled up and stuff. I figured mine would look better at where it's at no matter how you try to look at it. Okay, I just did the wrist move. Like if you take your wrist and go against the grain on your wrist, it's easier to turn it in towards your body. Turn it out away from your body as if you're doing like a pitchfork type, and to this maximum turn, and that's what angle I use. Basically like a 45 or 50 degree angle. A little over a 50 degree angle. I mean, I will give that because I got tired of losing my muffler. Okay, so my muffler's on there properly, it's on there correctly. Even if I did it straight, it would just be there, but it actually lifted it up more because of that, you know, by having it at a 45-degree angle. I'm just waiting on these bumpers to get on there, my original bumpers, okay, which I have no coral on, putting back on there. It's gonna look saucy when it's done. I'm going to Mako next. It's gonna be all white with the yellow bottom. Okay, I'm 45, so it's got me a little bit off the ground. At the end of this segment here, you guys will know 40 series tires are great. 45s for long travel, 40 tires for general street show. I'm rolling on the F1R rims, okay, which are the perfect match for the Toyo Proxies, okay, and it's just sitting good. It's sitting real nice. Okay, I'm rolling Mishimoto also in my air intake, the Japanese version. I haven't seen an American version that fits. They normally cater to the Mustang, the Ford Mustang, which are good. Our American muscle is kind of getting a little bit, what would you say, just excessive? Okay, it's excessive to me. Okay, I don't believe in Skunk 2 right now, you know, and tearing up my suspension. I don't have that kind of money to keep throwing into my car all the time to put in the wrench work. I'm learning my wrench work as I go along. Like I said, I'm trying to get this shop off the ground as far as people coming in and getting their work done, because these guys are excellent at what they do. This is no brush up on it at any point. It's just a fact, okay? And so at the end of the day, these guys come in, they do a lot of body work, paint work. Right now, they're a little bit out of my league for the paint. It's only going to be temporary, okay? I'm going with the all gold trim, okay, on everything. My license plate's being changed. I got the yellow emblem on the way, okay, bolstered yellow emblem. Got the wings coming, all of the trimming coming, okay? My engine's about to be tight. I'm about to finish painting that. One thing I can tell you in the tricks of painting your engine, take your time. I will say that. Take your time, cut the newspaper properly, trim and wrap every single hose, every single spark plug. If you don't want to take them out, you can wrap them and harness them up. Do double so it doesn't leak through for any reason, okay? And have something underneath the car to catch the paint that may drip, you know, which it shouldn't. But even if you got marks and scars inside of your gasket cover, you know, your head gasket, or your cover gasket and whatever else, you know, if no, I'm mispronouncing it, so I'm starting to stutter. So even if you have that, you can continue to paint coats and layers, which is going to look fresher. The fresher and the more precise that you put your paint and the newspaper and your tape, you know what I mean, it's going to look wonderful. You don't even have to pull your engine. Just tape everything off. Be creative. Look at how much space is in between and lay it out and cut it out and lay it out and tape. That's all you're trying to do is stop the tape. All you're trying to do, I mean, not the tape, but the holes. And all you're trying to do is stop any blowage for any particles from getting inside your onto things that you don't want. So basically, unwanted holes is to be painted or any type of residue. So that's basically what you're doing. Like I said, be creative. So if you go layer after layer after layer after layer after layer after layer after layer, it's going to cover up any holes, any gaps without having to sand off the thermal protection. They're saying that they have thermal protection that will help, but I don't care for that. So whatever's on there is on there. Again, you tape out the stencil and then you don't see anything because you coated it properly. I can tell you this now, whatever color you would like, they got it in Walmart. It's like the clear coat on it and everything, even though it's primer. You can coat as many times as you want and it sticks properly. Okay, I'll really endorse that. That's what this is. Okay, right here, this green. I kept using it over and over, and I did that outside in blustery wind. It took years for it to get like this, at least 2.5 years for it to start doing that. I even had them scrapes, it was painted black, shiny black. It took years for it to basically get back to its original scrub. So lo and behold, what I'm thinking like is, you know, that's basically what it is. That's basically what we're doing. The core is going to be really, really nice when it's done. I'm going all leather interior. I will also say the cheaper way to get your leather is to get the seats from a leather Honda Accord. Okay, that's what you want to do so you won't have fitting issues. Then once you get that done, you basically get your rugs done. You know, it's always good to put in for your rugs and your other interior. And you can leather up all of that too. So then your dashboard, same thing. You know, the same people that could do your, get your rugs done, get the other interior will be nicer too. I mean, it saved a ton on cost. I'm going NRG. I'm always NRG, so all of my stickers are authentic. Okay, including my Apple. So I'm Apple friendly. You know, like I said, all of my racing teams are Authentic, Sparco, Weapon Art, which is actually most people don't know that's Mishimoto. Okay, Bride. Okay, I got Bride stickers. Let me see who else. Apex. I mean Apexi, Nas. Okay, I didn't put on all of them, but that's some of the better ones at Today Racing. It looks like Tota, but I believe it's Today. It could be Tota or Today. I don't know. It just doesn't have a Y. Somebody thought I missed the Y. So for Tota Racing, but I think it's for Today Racing. But it could be for Tota Racing. So those are all authentic. So all in the same. I'm not building a race car. I'm building a strong car. And then I also suggest if you like gold trim, you know they got that still too. You can find those online. Where my cap, if you can't get your oil cap the way you want it, I always suggest the glue. Clean it really good, and not glue it, but clean it really good, and get you know the stuff that goes around the trim, like on your gas cap or your gas tank. You can literally use that same stuff, which people try to put over their air intakes. They just get the crinkles in it. You can put that over your gas cap, and it'll look really, really good. You got to flare it out, you know, and basically cover all the little spots and tuck good. So that's all you have to do. So now you got your gold gas cap, and it actually looks really, 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 really awesome. You probably won't be able to get the actual threading, which I wouldn't suggest, you know, because of the oil, and it's just get particles all in your engine. Some people probably would have done that. Getting a little bit too loaded, somewhere around the way. Okay, so I'm gonna drop some of the laden load on that, and basically that's what I would do. So I'm getting these mud flaps off because they don't look too good on it now. So I'm taking those off. I'm going completely mud flapless, and I want the car to be a kind of a standout car without the mud flaps. I mean, it looks good with the mud flaps, but I mean, I can just scrub them back clean with Dollar Store because it's basically peel-off paint. So Dollar Store, fingernail polish remover. I mean, these are little tricks of the trades that I learned from younger kids, and they were true, you know, kids that just started driving, was getting their Honda Civics together, their round backs. I mean, geez, it's just freaking awesome, man. So my little 12-minute review's pretty much over. I mean, I'm trying to zoom in a little bit more so you can see how it's actually, you know, really, really, really generic when it's on there. I mean, you see the shine. I don't like this particular muffler. My muffler is RS type, so I'm going RS type all the way, but that's just what I could do since the COVID's been here, and my muffler's my muffler shop's pretty much closed. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. They both have silencers. This is this is an excellent muffler. I forgot the name of it, but it's excellent. It's only about $60 or less than $70. You know, you're gonna pay more for shipping than you probably would for the freaking muffler itself. Most of my stuff, again, is from Osaka. Okay, and then when it comes to wheel spacers, a lot of people don't know how to do that, so I'm gonna give you guys that set up real quick. Wheel spacers are pretty good to have just 1-inch wheel spacers. This is what 1-inch wheel spacers looks like. Okay, if you go 1.5, that's gonna be over half the tire. Okay, or if not half or some. And then some people go 2 inches. So between 1.5 inches, I can deal with that actually. You know, most people even exaggerated that with their mouths because your car could come up even lamer by by people overestimating what you really have. Okay? And that's just ridiculous to have such a setup where your tires are so wide and then, well, I can't make a turn. I watched so many of those videos. I can't make a turn, I can't do this. Okay, I got mines. Mine's is actually 0 offset, so you can't just slap them on your stuff. Okay, or have a happy trail if you try. You feel me? And so I learned that because I seen what they tried to do when they first put them on. Oh, we're gonna have to do this. So it takes some fabrication too to put on 0 offset, which is cool. You know, so that's kind of a what do you call it? A protection on your rims. You know, it's a protection on your rims. Like if you know you don't put rim locks on, because rim locks can literally cause a problem if you're not aware of things. You put 4 or 5 rim locks on your rims, okay, or whatever, and then you lose the key. How are you going to get it open? Then you got replica specialists, because I mean nothing's really jackproof. So get that out of your mind. You know, they can easily make a key to any car that has a keyhole. Okay, just something that fits in there, even if it's a newer key, and just boom. You know, for whatever reason. So I don't understand why people run around here like this. So, that's just the biggest lie to sell and get your money, man. I swear to you. So, lo and behold, just keep your car as jack-proof as possible. I will say that because it's nice to have Hondas. Again, I'm on 100% blown head gasket. My car is doing well off of bars. Okay, I will recommend it again. I was getting up to about 107 on the freeway. It's been blown since 2016, come to find out. Shop and vandalism and all kinds of stuff. I kept seeing stuff floating in my brand new radiator. Wondering what's going on? So it's been blown for a long time. I've been going across the nation, driving everywhere, didn't even know. I was losing power from 200 and something to 170 something to 150 to 160, 140, 130. Then it was staying steady at 130. Then finally I hit rock bottom this year, where I was just bloop, 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 but I was still doing over 100. And that was my fault, putting too much seafoam in my engine to clean the pistons and everything, which is what you want to do. You want to always drop, but I put too much. You always want to put a drop or two of seafoam to, especially if you have standard or unstandard, it doesn't matter. Don't ever let people tell you that either. So put a couple drops of seafoam in your oil and let it get all of that gunk and all of that residue off your pistons so your pistons won't warp. Okay, especially if you drive across the nation like I do on a regular basis. I always like my car. I can't stand driving rental cars and all that stupid stuff. So anyhow, again, we're going wood grain. We're doing all kinds of things. This is going to be a special time for this car. I got a second one I'm coming into. One thing I had to learn was trial and error does make a difference, because you think you have the setup every time. People always make you spend more than what you intended to spend because they don't tell you, oh yeah, you need to add that. Oh, especially when it comes to wheels, lift kits, wheel spacers, brakes, brake lines, even turbo. So much is turbo. They make it seem like you can just self-install turbo. Turbo is more difficult than you think. Okay, you can put all the setup, but then you got to understand there's a turbo gauge. There's all kinds of stuff that has to balance out. There's leaks that happen almost instantaneously that won't let it jet off at 60 or whatever you have it set at for it to kick in. Okay, they don't tell you about your pistons. They don't tell you about your lifters. They don't tell you about none of that, on what kind of oil to use. Just put 1050. A lot of times you don't want to put 1050 in your car. I will swear to you that. I swear to you that 1050 isn't always the answer. It's how much do you use your turbo? You know what I mean? It really takes the place of NOS. Okay, how well do you use that? Because it's basically what you want to use. Like if you get a lot of power drop, but then again, they don't tell you that, if something goes bad, your turbo still works good. You won't even know it because you're still getting that turbo initiation as soon as it hits the certain speed that you have it set at. And so you'll never know. And one of the things is gaskets too. So that's why I'm heavily inducing bars, just in case you find out. Okay, one of the other things I want to say before I end this 18 minute tutorial is that at the end of the whole thing, what you'll find is that your car going, that's one of the indications of a seriously blown head gasket. They'll tell you it's the throttle body regulator and all of this different stuff, and the derelict to the dialect of the DAS effects and the diggity microphone checker stuff, and you gotta be serious. It's like, no way, no way. It's basically a head gasket, so the car is not gonna sit and idle properly. Your idle body specialist, like, man, nah, there's a little screw that you can get in and there's a top part. That ain't what does it. It's really a blown head gasket. So you just need to change your gaskets, instead of your valve cover gasket, which is what I wanted to mention in the beginning. I kept calling it a head gasket cover and all of that stuff. So the valve cover gasket is what I was saying, is what I was talking about painting, just to reiterate that. So anyhow, I found out a lot. Everything that they say can lead to all of the above. So don't ever just discredit, but stand on the principle that Hondas, especially LXIs, Accords, whether you got 2.0, 2.4 engine, whatever engine you throw in there, it's going to run next to forever if you keep up on your maintenance and your basic maintenance. And if you love your car like you love yourself, I hope we eat a lot healthier than we feed our cars sometime, or that we feed ourselves better than we feed our cars sometime. Because some of us do one or the other. Okay, let's try to do both in this one. You're going to be a very happy person, however it goes. So anyhow, the lights again that you see that are standard, apparently always use your original lights to get your molds if you're going to pay for molds, because if you don't, then basically you're gonna have fitting issues all the time, except for using your regular lights, which is why I knew to use my regular lights to get the mold. So that's why I don't have fitting issues. So everything is good, okay? And you guys stay strong, stay safe, be happy, and just know what I'm talking about, all right? Have a good day. This is my last tutorial for a minute until I get some more stuff done. You guys see the before. Hopefully we get to the after.